We are simming inside NCAA football, the 2023 to 2024 college football season. As you can see with the preseason polls, Georgia, Michigan, Alabama, Ohio State, LSU, it's all like it would be in real life. We're going to sim it today, see what happens. Caleb Williams, Jordan Travis, Drake May, Sam Hartman, and Bo Nix are the 5 favorites in NCAA football to win the Heisman. I think that's pretty on pace. I don't know if the preseason All-Americans are right or not. We have a left end as the All-NCAA first-team quarterback. Those are not correct. I am Akron, so I don't interfere with anything. No offense to Akron, but there's no way they're winning at all. Oh my gosh, this schedule is identical to what's happening in real life. Notre Dame beat Navy like expected. Ohio lost to San Diego State. Vanderbilt beat Hawaii. USC won. All of these results are what happened in real life. So that means in week 2, we have Florida, Utah. And in the game, Florida wins. Does Nebraska win in the game against Minnesota? No, Nebraska still loses. We'll see what happens in week 2. So in week 2, according to NCAA football, this is what's all going to happen this week. Deion Sanders loses at TCU. Washington losing to Boise State would be wild. It gets Boise State ranked. UTEP lost to an FCS school. Wisconsin beat Buffalo in OT. Alabama lost to Middle Tennessee State in week 2. Even better, Duke just beat Clemson by 10. We have already had 3 crazy results in the first week. What is our top 5 looking like after 1 week? USC, Florida State, Michigan, Georgia. Wow, Florida State jumped all the way up there. Let's go ahead and get to the next week. Ohio State beat an FCS school. Good for them, good for them. Notre Dame beat NC State in overtime. I don't think we're seeing any crazy upsets. This one's for Hawkeyes. Iowa actually beat Iowa State. Iowa is 2-0. Has Iowa's offense figured it out in NCAA football? UTSA is a top 25 team already. UCF beat Boise State, getting them ranked. Alabama has now lost to Middle Tennessee State and Texas. Oklahoma barely beat SMU. USC survived against Stanford. What happens in week 4? My team, Kentucky, is 3-0, boys. We'll look at conference standings and stuff mid-season. It's still early on. Missouri beat Kansas State. Penn State lost to Illinois. LSU lost to Mississippi State. Alabama won. They beat my USF Bulls down here in Tampa. Okay, Florida is 3-0 and ranked 12th in the country right now. I don't know how to explain Michigan State losing by 31, but that's pretty much all the important results. This is our top 10. These teams are all battling it out for the 4-team playoff. They're all 3-0 besides Notre Dame, who's 4-0. Notre Dame plays Ohio State next week. And you know what's wild? Ohio State is 1-2, which means they lost a second game, just like Alabama did. Who is Ohio State losing to as a 97 overall team? Western Kentucky. What about the Heisman watch? Jordan Travis is still up here. Audric Estime. Is this the DJ Ukulele Redemption Tour? There's no way that this dude is in the top 5 for the Heisman race. 8 for 22 for 98 yards in their win against San Diego State. Top 5 in the Heisman race. You can't make this up. What happened in week 5? Florida State beat Clemson, making Clemson 1-3. Clemson can still make it if we're doing a 12-team one, to be fair. Michigan beat Rutgers. They're undefeated. They're taking care of business. UTSA, who was ranked in the top 25, lost to Tennessee. And Deion Sanders, Colorado is 1-3, while Oregon's still undefeated. Alabama bounced back. They're 2-2. And Charlotte beat Florida in overtime to give Florida their first loss. Notre Dame lost to Ohio State, so Ohio State's getting back up in the running. Penn State loses their second one to fall to 23rd in the country, and LSU is 1-3 after losing to Arkansas. Texas also lost to Baylor. No teams are staying undefeated at this point besides Georgia, Michigan, and Florida State. It seems like all the big dogs are falling off with at least 1 loss already, and we're 4 games in, so we'll see what the top 25 is looking like, but this is crazy. We got these 6 in the top, and then North Carolina's still undefeated as well. Week 6 results. Utah beat Oregon State, so Oregon State's run to the top has already crashed and burned. Boise State, they're a sneaky 4-1. They beat Washington in week 1, but then they turned around and lost the next week. Alabama has climbed back up to number 11 in the country after losing to Middle Tennessee State and somebody else that I already forgot. I swear, Alabama's going to make the 12-team playoff if we do it that way. This is ridiculous. Texas lost to Kansas again. It's time to throw Arch Manning out there and see what he can do. Why is Missouri 5-0 and number 12 in the country? Oklahoma is 6-0. Kentucky is 5-0. We beat Florida. 5 years ago, you wouldn't believe we've done it. Now we continue to do it. I don't know why Riley Leonard is so good on these rosters, but he has them in a 10-7 win over Notre Dame. Washington somehow has bounced back to number 8 after losing to Boise State in week 1. These These rankings make no sense. We're going to sim another week, check those results, and then we're going through all the conference standings, getting a mid-season update, and then we'll go through a few weeks at a time after that to see who makes the conference championships, and then we will see who makes the playoffs. North Carolina picked up their first loss. Missouri lost their first game to LSU, so LSU is 14 at 3-3. Georgia beat Kentucky. The run is over. Georgia's still number 1. I don't want to talk about it. Michigan's still 7-0. Georgia's still undefeated too. Florida State's still undefeated. Notre Dame lost to USC, who's number 1, and Oregon lost in overtime to Washington, so the Pac-12 is very competitive. Alabama's 3-4, boys. KJ Jefferson was too much for Nick Saban to handle. Our Heisman race right now at mid-season, this is in week 8. Edwards is on top, and Austin Jones is the second close behind him. Caleb Williams is at 5, so USC's offense has clearly been good at their number 1 in the country. JJ McCarthy is up here as well. Anthony Dean, this dude is the Derek Carr build from Fresno State on this game. Fresno State's not going to be that good in real life. This roster only has the updated Power 5 teams and then some of the smaller schools, so that is why there's a couple weird ones in between. USC, Georgia, Florida State, Oklahoma, Michigan. Those are the teams that are undefeated halfway through the year. Florida State's winning their division to make the ACC championship, but NC State's also undefeated in conference play. Big 12, Kansas State, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas Tech. That's your top 4. There's a lot of 4-2, 5-2 teams in the Big 10. Penn State is the one that's fallen off the most at 3-3. They lost to Illinois, Iowa, and at Northwestern. Then for the Pac-12, USC's up here, UCLA, Washington, Washington State, and Oregon, and Utah. This is going to be a crazy finish to the Pac-12. The SEC, it's looking interesting. We've advanced a few weeks. Things have probably shifted up. USC is the number 1 team. I don't see Georgia up here. Missouri beat Georgia, and they're 7-2, so they also lost. They lost to South Carolina. So we got 3 undefeateds left. Washington State is 8-1. There's some matchups in this I want to sim, because some of these matter, like Missouri against Tennessee. If Missouri loses, which they do, that is a top 6 team that has dropped out. USC and Oregon, this is a good one. This is for a top spot. Bo Nix cannot take down Caleb Williams. They're 11-0. Miami at Florida State. This is for Miami's spot, and Miami cannot redeem themselves. They lose to Florida State. And we'll sim to week 14. We will get as close to the playoffs as we can, but we'll have 1 week left, so we can kind of see how things shake out in the last week. Top 25, going into week 14. There are 2 weeks left in the season, pretty much 1. Most of these teams have 1 more game left. USC and Oklahoma deserve spots in the 14 playoff. Washington State, if they beat Washington, they'll deserve a spot. We have 1 week left in the season, so this stuff will decide ACC championship spots. Florida State has their spot on lock. Big 12 wise, Oklahoma has this one on lock. For the Big 10, Michigan fell off hard. Michigan lost 2 games in a row. How did I not notice that? They lost at Penn State and at Maryland. The Big 10 stunk on this sim. Pac-12 wise, Washington State's number 3 in the country. They're going to win their division unless they lose to Washington. This is a huge game this week, the Apple Cup, and then USC is already on lock. SEC, South Carolina is going to win the division. That is brutal. Heisman watch-wise, Caleb Williams is going to win the Heisman most likely. We're going to sim a few key games for this week that determine playoff spots, and then it's championship week time. Oklahoma almost lost to TCU, but they didn't. Florida, Florida State, this could be a key matchup. Florida has been known to upset teams, but they got pounded by Florida State. Florida State's a playoff team, unless they lose the ACC championship, and Michigan beats Ohio State. They're climbing back in. Washington State, here we go. This is big. If Washington State wins, they're going to pull off the upset run, and they lost. Now our playoff decision is going to be tough. We're going to have a full committee, look through schedules, and figure out the 4 teams. Conference championship week, top 25 is looking like this. USC and Oklahoma, assuming they win, they're in the playoffs. They're pretty much a lock anyway. Florida State, if they beat Miami, they're in. Washington State didn't make the Pac-12 championship, and Notre Dame doesn't have a conference championship. That's probably the 4th spot right now. But if Washington beats USC, they might jump up as well. Heisman watch going into the final week. It's Jordan Travis versus Caleb Williams. Dylan Gabriel's up there as well. Whoever does well in their conference championship probably wins the Heisman. Oklahoma and Kansas were the best 2 teams in the Big 12. Michigan and Minnesota, best 2 teams in the Big 10. USC, Washington State, top of the Pac-12. SEC, South Carolina, Arkansas, Florida, LSU, Georgia. It makes no sense. Now we have to sim the conference championships. Then we'll get into the playoffs. We're going to do a 12-team playoff. South Carolina and Arkansas in the SEC championship. If we're doing a 12-team playoff, Arkansas has to win to make the playoffs. And Arkansas does. If Boise State's team's real, they're playing in the playoffs. They won their conference championship. USC Washington. Washington is playing for a spot in the playoffs. And they lose to USC by 1. I don't think we can put a 9-4 team in the playoffs. Even at the number 12 spot, I can't justify it. Miami at 10-2 loses. Michigan at 10-2 wins by 5. They have a playoff spot. Baylor at 9-3. They lose by 35. We're going to have a full committee to decide the 12 teams. That's for sure. Jordan Travis wins the Heisman over Dylan Gabriel and Caleb Williams. It's time to make some decisions as a tough committee. We're doing a 12-team playoff to end the year. Even though it's the 4 team this year, we're going to have fun. We're going to spice it up. There we go. We have our 12. Around halftime, Kansas and Washington. They are tied. 3rd and 10. Jalen Daniels. Luke Grimm shed one of them, but it's 4th and 6. It's pretty much over. And Kansas does not pick it up. Washington wins. Miami and Arkansas. It is a snow game. I think Arkansas won the conference championship to get to this point in the SEC, and Miami lost. This isn't even a contest. Arkansas had 583 total yards. We got to watch the end of the other one. This was boring. Arkansas went crazy. Raheem Sanders had a field day. The U is not back. Texas and Georgia. This is a first-round matchup. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. 2nd down. Carson Beck rolls out on the run, throws a dime. That is a touchdown for Georgia, 27-24. Georgia has had a better game than Texas. More plays, more total yards, more first downs. Texas just needs a couple first downs, though, and they are going to pull off the upset. They are the 9 seed. They hand this one off, and that's not going anywhere. 2nd and 9, Quinn Ewers slings it, and that's a check down. Okay, it all comes down to this. If Texas picks this up, they will win the game. Quinn Ewers back in the pocket. He throws the slant over the middle, and it is held onto by Adonai and Mitchell. That's it. Georgia's lost. Look at them. They're all happy. They're all celebrating. So the last one is Washington State and North Carolina, I'm pretty sure. North Carolina's 9-3. Washington State's 10-2, but they're pretty even. This is the last team to go on to the playoffs in the quarterfinals. Cameron Ward might come out and beat Drake May, or Drake May is going to throttle Washington State to get into the quarterfinals. Right now, it's looking like Drake May is going to throttle. But the North Carolina offense has been so stagnant that with 3 minutes left, it is a 3-point game. Here on 3rd and 10, North Carolina has Drake May trying to help him pick it up. That check down's not going to do the trick. Washington State's going to have a chance, boys. 1st and 10, check down, 2, 3-yard loss. But they have time to kill. All they need is a field goal to send it to overtime. 4th and 8, the field goal is up, and it's good. Okay, we're tied up at 24. Drake May has 45 seconds to get North Carolina in field goal range, or this is going to OT. I have seen the computer do this way too many times. Drake May's going to run the clock down to 2 seconds left, and then we're going to OT. And now we're going to have an OT game. First play of OT, North Carolina loses 4 yards. 2nd and 14, Drake May. Yikes. I think North Carolina is going to get held to 3 on this first drive. 3rd and 14, Drake May needs to pick this up in overtime, and he throws an interception. That's game. Washington State's won. They're going on to the quarterfinals. They could win it here. He's not going to make it all the way. Assuming this goes in, which it does. Yep, Washington State just beat North Carolina. I'm glad we did the 12 team. The 4 team would have been done by now. It wouldn't have been as fun. Here is the bracket. These are the 8 teams remaining. 1 seed Oklahoma, 9 seeded Texas. That is the first matchup of the quarterfinals. Then we're going to go to Michigan, who takes on Washington, who's a 12 seed and 9-4. I guess they're 10-4 now. They beat Kansas by 10, but interesting to think that they're here right now. After that, we have USC, Washington State. Washington State just beat Drake May in overtime. And then we have Florida State taking on Arkansas. Arkansas just beat Miami. It's going to be a good playoff. We got number 1 Oklahoma, who has beaten Texas already this season. And then we have number 9 Texas, who lost to Kansas. But Kansas is already out. This is looking to be a good quarterfinal matchup. 21 all in the 3rd quarter. Oklahoma just scored. Dylan Gabriel was in the Heisman running. And man, they just took a 2-possession lead. If Quinn Ewers can somehow get them a touchdown and then they recover the onside kick, that'd be incredible. But there's only 36 seconds left, so it's not likely. Boomer Sooner. It is over. Oklahoma's beaten Texas. USC, Washington State. This one's probably going to be a blowout. I don't think they're going to keep up with USC. It's already kind of turning into a blowout. Washington State is within a possession. They just need a lot to go their way. Cameron Ward keeps it. That's a touchdown. We have an upset on the horizon, potentially. I'm impressed they have kept up for this long. Washington State's had a very good season. They're not going to go for the onside kick, but they are going to have to stop Caleb Williams. I think Washington State has a legitimate chance now. 3rd and 5. It's a wide receiver screen. Man, that's tough. Washington State's going to have to start using timeouts. It's not unrealistic for Washington State to force a 3 and out. 3rd and 12. Caleb Williams. Halfback screen. Is Washington State... It's not over. It's not over. Cameron Ward has a chance. They got pinned back, though. This is a good game. 1st and 10, Cam Ward steps up. He has to go 89 yards down the field. 3rd and 7, Cameron Ward is going to get the throw out, and that is not going to go for the first. Halfback draw on 4th and 1. Washington State converts. It's not over. This is for a spot in the semifinals. If Washington State somehow makes it, that would be insane. I've seen some weird things in sim, but USC is dominant this first year. They have plenty of time still. I mean, USC isn't generating any pressure. I think Cameron Ward's going to send this one to overtime, boys. They're inside the 40. They have 53 seconds left. The only thing they have going against them is with no timeouts. I'm not sure how they're going to manage. 2nd and 7, Cameron Ward. He throws it deep. He has his receiver, and he's going to get all the way down to the 1-yard line. Oh, they're in trouble. There's a problem here. They are going to give Caleb Williams about 40 seconds left. USC is not going to get the stop. 2-point conversion time, boys. I knew that it would come down to something like this. You can just sense it. I've spectated 1,000 of these. Here's the 2-point conversion. Cam Ward has a lot of time. He gets it out, and the receiver gets in. 41 all. 41 all. Oh, my goodness. USC is going to have 39 seconds left. They have 3 timeouts. They should get into field goal range, but Caleb Williams might throw an interception. We have seen Caleb Williams throw very questionable balls. 39 seconds left now. Caleb Williams is scrambling, and they're not going to take a timeout. I think we're going to overtime, boys. This is for a spot in the semifinals. The only team that has made it already is Oklahoma. They're 14-0. This is quite the game, though. I can't believe Washington State is in this position. If Cameron Ward gets them into the playoffs, that'd be insane. I don't even see USC going undefeated, so. Yep, he bounced it in. I'm expecting Washington State to struggle on this next offensive possession, and even if they do pick it up, I don't think they're going to score a touchdown on both. They have the next 2, though. Halfback screen on 1st down. You know, it's going to go for a nice 8. 1st down, Washington State. Lots of broken tackles there. They have 4 plays to go 10 yards. Option run on the first one. Cameron Ward kept it. Smart decision. And he wants it more. He wants it more. Who's better, him or Caleb Williams? Right now, I can't tell the difference. Cameron Ward is playing out of his mind right now. Oh, no. The ball is on the ground. They recovered it. He was doing so well. Washington State's in trouble. They're going to probably have to settle for 3 on this drive if they don't get a big gain. Oh no, he takes the sack. They came back from down 16 with 3 minutes left. This is not good. I think they have to go for it on 4th and 22. We had a lot of faith in Washington State. Cameron Ward, deliver on 4th and 22 for us. He's going to get the throw out, and it's going. They converted. 1st down, Washington State. It's not over. They're not done. This is the greatest game. Oh yeah, that's a touchdown. We're going to start trading 2-point conversions back and forth too. We already saw Drake May throw an interception in overtime. Why can't Caleb Williams do the same? Oh, it's a wide receiver screen. No one's open. Dude, is Caleb Williams okay? What is he doing? 2nd and 20. Caleb Williams is in a lot of pressure, a lot of trouble. He zips it. I thought that USC just caught that off of the deflection. That should have been game. Like, that was not open. He dropped it. Then this guy comes in to scoop it. He just can't hold on. This game is crazy. Come on, Washington State. Interception. That's it. Washington State has beat USC. The number 7 seed in the playoffs has won. That means they're going to play whoever wins Arkansas and Florida State in the next round. They've moved on to the semifinals. Oklahoma's moved on to the semifinals. And all that's left is Washington, Michigan, and Arkansas, Florida State. We have to root for Washington State to win it all. Cameron Ward had a great performance. Look at them holding up their little trophy. You got 2 more, though. You got 2 more. We got number 3 Florida State, and we got number 6 Arkansas. I'm pretty sure Arkansas went 10-3, and Florida State ended up only having 1 loss. They went 12-1. They won the ACC. I want another close game. I don't want it to be a blowout, and it's very tight so far. 17 all now. Florida State goes up 24-17. Jordan Travis gets them up 34-17. You got to wonder if the Razorbacks are collapsing under the pressure. There's only 7 minutes left. They're down 3 possessions. We just witnessed a crazy 16-point comeback. Can we witness a 17-point comeback? Arkansas is about to get it back within 10. What will really matter is how they do on defense. Okay, well, They went for the onside kick, and Jordan Travis shred them apart in 2 plays. Washington State's next opponent's going to be Florida State. Florida State almost doubled their score. The Seminole team is good. They held KJ Jefferson to 0 touchdowns. Jordan Travis, 74% completion percentage, 4 touchdowns. He is the Heisman winner in this season's sim. Our last game is Michigan versus Washington, who is the 12 seed. The Pac-12 could have 2 upset teams going on to the semifinals. If you want to root for an underdog, you got to go with Washington. Michael Penix got sacked on that first drive. Michigan's already scored. JJ McCarthy, Corum scored another rushing touchdown. 14-0 early. Michigan's defensive line is eating Washington's offensive line alive. I think we're going to have to just sim it, and we're going to see the unfortunate result. If you were wondering why you don't want a 4-loss team in the playoffs, here is your reasoning right here. It's okay. We wanted to watch the semifinals. We're all rooting for Washington State, unless you're a Michigan, Oklahoma, or Florida State fan. Oklahoma is the number 1 seed. Dillon Gabriel was in the Heisman running. The number 6 offense versus the number 4 offense. Defense might not be existing here. Dillon Gabriel's working it down the field. I think Oklahoma's going to score the first. Yep, they scored first. Oklahoma gets 7. Michigan goes out again. But they held Oklahoma to 3 and out, and now they're responding back. Michigan has kicked a field goal to make it 7-3. Near the end of the first quarter, not a very high-scoring game so far. But Blake Corum just rushed for a 69-yard touchdown. That's impressive. Michigan's up 10-7. A lot of struggles from both teams offensively. Wow, Dillon Gabriel took a safety. It's 12-7 now. 19-14 to end the half. That is a crazy first half. We're going to start spectating in the second, but for now, we'll just watch it over here. Michigan just fumbled. This is a big 3rd and 4. We got to start watching. Oklahoma's trailing. They need to come back. Oklahoma needs to pick up this 3rd and 4. They need some life, and they don't get it. Here we go. 4th and 6. Dillon Gabriel throws it. Corner route. Corner route cheese. Dillon Gabriel picks it up. Well, Oklahoma's going to probably score a touchdown here. And yeah, there's the touchdown. This is a massive 3rd and 1. They're up by 5. If they get stopped here, they'll have to settle for 3. It'll still be a 1-possession game. Oh, that is a huge defensive stop. It's going to be a 1-possession game. This is for a spot in the championship. Oklahoma is undefeated. 9 seconds remaining in the quarter. 3rd and 11 for Dillon Gabriel. He is going to have plenty of time, but he just didn't get anything open. I think Michigan's about to score. Roman Wilson gets the touchdown. Oklahoma might be in trouble, boys. 4 minutes remaining. Down by 15. If they don't pick up this 3rd and 12, they are pretty much out. Are they punting? Bro, you're at midfield. Why are you punting? That might be the worst coaching call. They could get a defensive stop here. They have 3 timeouts. 3rd and 10, halfback draw. Blake Corum goes nowhere. Dillon Gabriel, interception. It's done. Michigan's in the championship. All that's left is Washington State, Florida State, and then after that, we have a championship game. I can't believe Oklahoma lost after going undefeated. We have to see Washington State play again. I'm so excited for it. Washington State is very undermatched in this game, but we still love them. We still have faith in them. We witnessed a huge upset over undefeated USC and Caleb Williams from Washington State in overtime. I have my faith in Cameron Ward. First drive for Washington State, 3rd and 7. What's Cameron Ward doing on 3rd and 7? I'm expecting Cameron Ward to do something amazing. He throw. No, Cameron Ward, no. That is a terrible start for Mr. Cameron. It's going to be hard for them to pull off the win, but we're rooting. Oh, they scored. Dang it. He threw another one. He's thrown 2 picks, boys. It is a 2-possession game. When Washington State beat USC, coming back, they were down 16 with 3 minutes left, and they forced overtime. We are familiar with being down 16. It's not over. Florida State just scored a touchdown again. The defense is selling. We might have to accept the reality that this Seminole team is just really good. I can support for as long as possible, but giving up 57 points in the semifinal, Cameron Ward just didn't have a supporting cast around him, man. That was the issue. It's Michigan versus Florida State in the championship. That is what NCAA football has decided this year's national championship would be. We wanted Washington State to make it, but you can only do so much. Tate Roadmaker. That means Jordan Travis got hurt. Washington State gave up 57 points to a backup quarterback. There is the final. Florida State, Michigan. But let's get a little preview. Let's get a preview for our national championship. We're not just going to hop into it. You need to understand how these teams got here. Florida State, they had a great season. Their only loss came by 13 on the road at Pitt. Very questionable, but they bounced back. They won the ACC championship against Miami. They did well. Michigan, rough ending to the year. They started 9-0, then they lost at Penn State and at Maryland. They beat Ohio State, though, by 4. They won the Big Ten championship by 5, and now they're in the championship. They've made a good run. JJ McCarthy, 35 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Blake Corum, 18 rushing touchdowns. Cornelius Johnson, Good little receiving season. On the Florida State side of things, Johnny Wilson's done well. So is Kean Coleman. Good 2 receivers. Trey Benson's rushed for a lot. Jordan Travis almost rushed for 1,000 rushing yards, and he has 12 rushing touchdowns. There is a reason this guy won the Heisman Trophy. Pretty good year. Let's play the championship, boys. We have seen it all. We have recapped it all. This is what was going to happen this football season, according to NCAA Football. 95 overall, 97 overall. It's going to be close. Number 4 and number 5 offense. First possession, Florida State moving it. Oh, Florida State scored a touchdown immediately. Will Michigan respond back? 4th and 2, they're going for it, actually. Okay, Michigan. 4th and 2, J.J. McCarthy scrambles, and it's a first down. 3rd and 5, he does not get the throw out. Okay, Michigan settles for 3. Florida State just got held. Michigan, 3rd and 13. This is a big play. They're not going to pick up the 3rd and 13. Wait. Blake Corum just fought single-handedly for that first down. Look at him clapping for himself. So it's 7-6 here in the second. Jordan Travis going to take the snap, and he is going to laser it up the middle. I mean, that's going to be a touchdown drive most likely. Blake Corum, 75-yard rush, and the 2-point conversion's good, 14 all. J.J. McCarthy just threw an interception to keep this game close. They had a chance to go up by 2 possessions in the championship. 3 versus 4. Jordan Travis keeps this ball, and he gets knocked down. We've noticed teams have struggled to finish off drives with touchdowns. Michigan's already taken 2 field goals. We'll see if Florida State gets held here. On 3rd and 5, Jordan Travis is not able to use his legs in the right way. Michigan's cooking right now. We have a minute left in the first half. They should burn as much clock as they can because the Wolverines haven't taken a timeout, and that's what they're going to do. Yeah, they burned through the clock. So Michigan probably going to end the half up 4, which is still very good for the Wolverines. I think Florida State got ball first, so they're in a good position. I guess they're going to be a Hail Mary. The throw's off. Roman Wilson is very quick, and Roman Wilson comes down with it. What an ending to the first half. If you're a Florida State fan right now, you've got to be awful nervous because you just fumbled inside your own red zone, and J.J. McCarthy passes for a touchdown. Oh boy, the Wolverines might actually do it. If we did a 4-team playoff, they almost wouldn't have made it. They almost didn't make the Big Ten championship, but they won the Big Ten championship. They won against Ohio State, and they just scored another touchdown. J.J. McCarthy is annihilating Florida State right now. We're going to hope for a comeback because we've seen some crazy comebacks. We're just going to see. We're going to see what Jordan Travis does. I mean, he's just not doing well. It's looking rough, boys. They got an interception, though. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. It is 35-42. It is not over. These are the comebacks we love to see, but what did Florida State do? So JJ had the 63-yard touchdown pass, obviously. Then Jordan Travis scored a touchdown. FSU field goal. They forced a turnover. And then interception for a touchdown and the 2-pointer. 3rd and 6. JJ McCarthy throws another interception. He almost threw another pick 6. I was wondering how Florida State came back so quick. It's because J.J. McCarthy has 4 interceptions right now. Michigan is choking. This is the season sim, and if this is how the championship went, this would be very entertaining. Oh, there's the interception from Jordan Travis. We knew the interception was coming. This is the worst game quarterback play-wise we've seen for 2 star quarterbacks. Florida State cannot afford to let this drive go on for too long. They have come back from being down by 25. That is a grown man stiff arm right there. Darius Clemens. Jeez. I think it's done. Let's see. 4-yard rush, 3-yard rush. This is a big 3rd down. So many crazy things happen on this sim engine. So many things can happen. Yeah, it's far from over. They go out of bounds. They stop the clock. They take their 3. It's a 10-point game. Oh my gosh. Turner missed the field goal. 27-yard chip shot. This is a tough position for Florida State. They have already come back from being down so much. And on 3rd down, that's a first. Trey Benson fought. I didn't know if they were going to give him the marking there, but they did. If you thought this one was over when Michigan was up 42-17, 25-point lead, you are mistaken. They've choked. JJ's thrown 4 interceptions, and Florida State has a chance. 2nd and 5, Jordan Travis. That's out of bounds. Perfect. Clock stops. They have time to recoup. This is a great championship. I don't think we could have asked for a better playoff. I would have been disappointed if it was a blowout in the end. 3rd and 5. Jordan Travis takes the drag, but that's short. 4th and 1. Here we go. This is it. Game on the line. 40 seconds left. Championship on the line. Jordan Travis is going to scramble, and that's it. He didn't make it. It's over. Michigan wins. They did not blow their 25-point lead. What a championship. They have won our sim. National champions, Michigan. That was a crazy season, sim boys. I'm not sure we would have ever expected them to come back after having those back-to-back losses at the end of the year. They made it into the playoffs. They won the Big Ten championship, and Ohio State went 2-5. So Michigan fans gotta love it. Jordan Travis won the Heisman, so FSU fans can still take that as a positive away. Josh Wallace won player of the game because JJ McCarthy threw 4 interceptions, but that was a good championship. That was a good championship we just got there.